Strategic estate planning with real estate involves thinking about what kind of real estate are we planning for and what are our options. So if we have real estate that is your home and we have a mortgage on the real estate, we have to look to a federal law that provides an exemption from the lender exercising its due on sale clause, meaning the lender would not be able to call the whole loan due upon a transfer of the property. And strategic estate planning, we would want to transfer the real estate to a lifetime trust. So even with that mortgage on the property, we would likely be able to transfer the real estate to a revocable trust. But what about transferring the home to an irrevocable trust, like a Medicaid Asset Protection Trust, which is an irrevocable trust? Would the federal law allow for it, or would there be a problem there? And, this can be something that can be talked about with your estate planning attorney, but there could be some issues there as far as the mortgage being on the property and trying to transfer the property to an irrevocable trust. Because remember, I said that statute provides an exemption if the borrower is and will remain a beneficiary of the trust, and there's no change in occupancy rights, and then the fact that there can be no more than 5 residential units. So the big key with this would be the right of beneficiaries. With a Medicaid Asset Protection Trust, you're really parting with the asset. You are saying, here, trustee, who's not yourself setting up the trust, here, trustee, somebody else, here's this property. I want you to handle and manage the property according to the instructions I provided in this trust agreement, but I'm parting with control of the asset. And I also am not going to be a beneficiary of the trust because that's going to cause problems as far as my whole goal surrounding the trust. By being a beneficiary, I could be exposing the trust to creditors. Okay, and so that is the dilemma there. And I'm just going to leave that there for now. But sometimes people can look at their financial situation, call on your financial planner, have somebody new look at things, see what can be done. Some people may say, I can pay off the mortgage now. I think that's something I want to do for looking at my whole picture here and talking with my financial advisors and so on. And then I'm going to be more free to do what I want as far as a transfer of the real estate itself goes. But sometimes I work through this with my clients with sort of plan A and plan B, and we just kind of talk about it to get an understanding of what's desired and what's possible and go from there. But certainly even transferring the real estate to a revocable trust is a very strategic estate planning move. You're really setting things up the way you desire them and want them now and into the future. So I applaud people who want to at least think about these things because it is going to be helpful for yourself, your family, your loved ones. Now, I want you to think about one other way of real estate ownership, and that is with investment real estate. So when we have investment real estate, we've got to be ahead of the game. We've got to think about how are we purchasing the real estate? Should it be in our individual name or in an entity? Of course, it should be in an entity, not in your individual name. But plan that out because you're going to get that entity set up well ahead of time before you need to enter into the contract. Or there can be some other kind of ideas as far as if you've entered into a contract in your personal name, and then now what if you want to transfer the contract rights to the LLC and so on. But ideally, you're setting up that LLC because you've planned ahead, knowing what you're going to be doing as far as purchasing investment real estate. And then if you're purchasing this investment real estate with a mortgage, I think it would be wonderful to talk to the lender and say, for estate planning purposes, we'd like specific permission to be able to transfer member interests of the LLC to a lifetime trust. Now that's going to be a revocable trust, But if that can be worked into the terms of the mortgage, then we can have the LLC set up. We can purchase the real estate in the LLC, and we can transfer member interests into the revocable trust. Strategic estate planning. There's so much to think about in all of this. I think the main point I'm always trying to express is that to know that there are options and there are things to think about, and to give yourself the opportunity to work through this wonderful planning that you can do, and do that with an estate planning attorney who wants to help you do the best for yourself and your loved ones. So this is Ruth George with Ruth P. George Law, PLLC, Trust and Estate Attorney. This video, as with any video I do put out, is for educational purposes only, and I look forward to seeing you on another video.